Yes, good morning, all of you. So, last session we started a looping statement site. I'm giving the overview of the last session. So, last session we started looping statements. Looping statements. So, we discussed about while loop, do while loop, for loop, and nested for loop. Nested for loop. Okay. After the looping statements, next concept we have arrays, guys. Arrays. Arrays. So, what is the purpose of arrays? Okay, arrays is the container. Arrays is the container which is used to which is used to which is used to store the values, guys. Arrays is the container which is used to store the values, which is used to store the values. Okay, which is used to store the values. In the array will be arrays. JVM will be treated like as object. Arrays will be arrays will be objects. JVM. So this point I can JVM will treat JVM will treat I would say array is the container which is used to store the values. JVM will treat array as the object. Array array as the object. Array as the object. So array as the object. Next point is arrays will be stored in the heap memory. Hello.
Yeah,
Okay. Arrays will be stored in the arrays will be stored in the heap memory. Heap memory. Heap memory. Okay, fine. Why they bring the arrays concept generally? For example, you can assume there is a scenario. Write a Java program. Write a Java program to print student marks. Write a Java program to print student marks. This is the scenario. If you go with the there are two types of data types, right? One is the primitive data types. Second one is the primitive data types. If you go with the primitive data types, we need to take the and we can assign the values like this, like int subject 1 equal to some 90 value, and the next one is int subject 2 equal to some 95, and there are 6 subjects. I need to take the 6 variables. I need to take 6 variables. Like this is the subject 3 and subject 4. Let us assume there are this is data of one student. If I want to store the 10 people, then how many variables should I create? I need to create I need to create
10 variable.
I need to create 60 variables, right? Are you guys clear with my statements? For example, this is the one student, I would say like subject 5 and subject 6. There are 6 subjects and this is the data of one student. 1 into 6. There are how many variables should I create for storing these values? I need to create 6 variables. 6 variables. There are 6 variables I created. This is with respect to only 1% data. This is only 1% data. I want to store 10% data. Then 10 into 6. 10 into 6. I need to create 60 variables. 60 variables. This is 10% data. 10% data. And I want to create store the 100 members data. Then I need to create 600 variables. I need to create 600 variables. This is data of 100% data. And there are 1000 people. If I go with the 1000 into 6, I need to create 6000 variables. So by creating these many variables, that is the good way to write the program? No, that is not at all good way to write the program. So there are many disadvantages if you go with this approach. Meaning, we are creating the variables, meaning we are allocating the memory. We are allocating the memory. Meaning we are wasting the memory by creating these many variables. We are wasting the money. I would say we are wasting the memory. We are wasting the memory. Okay. So and it will increase the lines of code. So there are 600. We need to take the 600 lines. It will increase the lines of file as well. It will increase the lines of code, and it will take time to compile the file, and it will take more time. These are the disadvantages if you go with the primitive data type approach. There is a scenario. The scenario is write a Java program to print the student marks. So normally if you go with the primitive data type approach, this is the, you will normally you can write the program like this. Okay, public class student name sub Raju, main method. Inside the main method you will take the all subject variables like subject 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, and the marks you will be stored like this. If you go with this approach, there are some disadvantages. What are the disadvantages? First thing is we need to create more variables. We are creating the more variables, meaning we are assigning the memory. We are assigning the memory, meaning we are wasting the memory as well, and it will increase the lines of code, and the time also will be wasted. These are the many disadvantages we have if you go with the non-primitive data type approach. So that is the reason in Java we have this is the primitive data types. That is the reason in Java we have non-primitive data types. Non-primitive data types. Are you guys clear with my statements or not? Non-primitive data types. In the non-primitive data types, what are the non-primitive data types? We have arrays, string, class, collections, right? Now today we are going ahead with the arrays. Today we are going ahead with arrays. So you can overcome all these problems. What are the problems? First problem is lines of code. Second problem is memory. Okay, these all the problems you can overcome by using non-primitive data types. Non-primitive data type, that is arrays. And primitive data type, it can hold only single value. For example, here I want to store all the values. Can I store like this? Int marks equal to like 90 and 99. If I store like this, no, we cannot store like this. It can hold only one value. It can hold only one value. If you write like this, if you go with primitive data type approach, if you write like this is not recommended way. Okay, it can hold only single value. Then how we can write the programs? So there is a concept, that is the arrays concept. There is a concept, arrays concept. Now you guys tell me, what is array? Array is the container which is used to store the values, which is used to store the group of values. You can store the group of values, you can store the single values also. JMM will treat array as the object. Okay, arrays will be stored in the heap memory. Arrays will be stored in the heap memory. Heap memory. Okay, this is primitive data type. I want to store all the in single array that you can store in arrays. For example, if I take a int array, so all the values you can store like this, like I would say 90, 95, and 70. So instead of taking multiple variables, so simply we will take single variable and there itself we can assign all the values. We can assign all the values. So that is the concept of arrays. That is the concept of arrays. Array is the container which is used to store the values, guys. JVM will treat array as the object. Arrays will be stored in the heap area. Next, next point is the beauty of array is we can store the values, we can retrieve the values based on the index positions. We can store the values, we can store the values, we can store the values, and we can retrieve the values. We can retrieve the values based on the index position, based on the index position, based on the index position, based on the index position. Hello, hello.
Yeah,
Based on the, we can store the values, we can retrieve the values based on the index positions, guys. Based on the index position, we can, based on the index position. Hello. అవును. అదే లోపలికి రండి. మీరు ఇప్పుడు ఎక్కడ పీజీ దగ్గర ఉన్నారా, ఆఫీస్ బయట ఉన్నారా? అవును, నేను పెట్టింది ఆఫీస్ లొకేషన్ కదా. మీకు కొద్దిగా లోపలికి వస్తే మీకు అక్కడ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్లో ఒకటి పిల్లర్స్ వేసి ఉన్నాయి. కన్స్ట్రక్షన్లో ఒక కడతా ఉంటారు. ఒక్క నిమిషం, నేను వస్తున్నా 5 minutes. Guys, the beauty of array is we can store the values, we can retrieve the values based on the index position, based on the index position. Okay, normally, so array's index position will start from the 0. Array index position, array index position will start from the 0, will start from the, will start from the 0th index position, 0th index position, index position, index position. Next point is when we store the values, when we store the values, when we store the values, we store the values, store the values. Okay, when we store the values, first value will be stored in the first index position of the array. First value will be stored in the first index position of the array. First index position, first index position of the array, and second value will be stored from second after after the values will be stored based on the index positions, based on the index positions, based on the index positions. Okay, the last index of the array is, last index of the array is n minus 1. Last index of the array is n minus 1. n minus 1, where node point is n means size of the array, size of the array, n means size of the array. So these are the some points you should be remembered with respect to arrays. So arrays will be stored in where? Arrays will be stored in the heap memory. Arrays will be stored in the heap memory. Arrays will be stored in the heap memory. And there is a array declaration. Array declaration. Array declaration meaning we are going to declare array name and array data type. Here array declaration meaning we are going to declare array name, and what kind of value it has to return. Data type, we are going to declare array name, data type, okay. The syntax for the array declaration is data type, and this is the array symbol, and variable name. This is the syntax, guys. And next we have array initialization. array initialization Array initialization meaning we are going to assign the values to the array. Here we are going to assign the values. We are going to assign the values to the array, guys. Assign the values to the array. Okay, so here variable name equal to, we can assign the values like this, some 90 and 80, like this. Okay, and variable declaration and variable initialization you can write in single line also. We can write in single line also. That is called variable initial declaration and initialization. Variable declaration and initialization. So here we can declare, we can initialize in single line also. So the syntax for this one is the syntax for this one is, I can say, data type, and I can say single array, and variable name equal to values. You can pass the values 90 and 99, like this. So in arrays, at the time of declaration, array size is mandatory, guys. At the time of array declaration, array declaration, array declaration, array size is mandatory. Array size is mandatory. ARR, and this is 5, like this. Okay. So based on this, I can write a few of the programs, and then I will show you. Will get some clarity on it. Where actually I'm taking one Java file. So this is the Java file I am taking, and here I would like to write new, and there is a text document, and here I would like to write arrays demo dot Java, and so this is the Java program here which I am writing. So public class arrays demo, and from here to here, this is the scope of the method. And now I would like to take public static void main and string, I would say array aux, and here I would like to So the data type is I am taking int size of the array arr equal to, here you can take new size, already we defined, right? We can take data type, and this is the this one, and here you can take data type, and this is the size, and this is the variable name. Okay, so here also you can mention size of the array, size of the array, size of the array, size of the array. Okay, now here we can store the values, we can retrieve the values based on the index position, right? So here the size I am taking as the some 3, and here I can say okay, store the values here, or we can retrieve the values 0. I would like to mm, data type, and this is the new, and this is the variable name we are storing again here, and that we are storing, that we can confirm with the, you can check with the here is declaration. Okay, same arr 0, and that we can store in I would say index position 1, and index position 2, and index position 3 as well. 0, 1, and 2, and I would like to take, now I want to print the values 75. Now I want to print the values, so you can print the values. So here the thing is, I'm adding the values, I'm returning the values based on the index positions, guys. Now I would like to print the values, system.out.println, and println. Okay, so here arrow dot at the position 0, wherever any value, if you want to add any value, if you want to print any value, so that would be whatever the value you want, that you can take that one, and wherever Java file is available, I am going to that location. I am opening cmd java c arrays demo dot java. The file has successfully compiled java and arrays demo. The value is coming 80. The value